Mousetrap gang, what is up? How you guys doing today on this Wednesday, man? I'm telling you, I record videos, then I post them that same day, man. So we grind, we trap out here hard, man. And I got a whole life, you feel me? I got a wife, I got kids, and I still squeeze in the time to make sure you guys got some good footage to watch, man. So salute to us, to the channel, man. We're growing, we're getting a lot of stuff done, man. The views are going up. We still haven't hit that like a 1K video within 24 hours. We hit 1K videos between like a day or like 2 days, maybe 3 days, something like that. But man, we're doing good, fabulous. We're grinding, we're working, all the above, man. So shout out to you guys, because without you guys, this channel would not be nothing. All right, so enough of the mushy stuff, man. We out here drinking Coke. See what I'm saying? Coke needs to sponsor me. I drink a lot of Coke, which I need to stop. But your boy's been working, man. We've been losing some weight so we can look good for these videos. But anyway, so let's get back to the grind. And literally, it is the grind today, guys. So we have the titty panel that we are gonna sand down today and get it ready for vinyl. It looks like poop right now, but you know, once we work our magic in it and sand it up, bondo, sand it, man, we ready to rock and roll. So actually, the first thing we're gonna actually do is we're gonna poke some holes right here and right here, right here. And the reason why I'm poking these holes is to cut these holes out for speakers can go in it. So the way we're gonna actually cut this out is I got a small flush mount router bit that we're just gonna stick inside here, and then we're gonna router out the hole so everything's nice and crispy. Then after that, we're gonna grind this all down with, I think this is almost like 40 grit, 36 grit grinding pad. We're gonna grind it all down, get all these edges nice and flat, grind this down, grind all this stuff down, everything. And then we are going to go ahead and fill it in with the bondo and get it ready so we can sand. And then after that, it's going to get it's going to get wrapped into vinyl. So it dried up pretty good. It's ready to rock and roll. So we pretty much just got to go ahead and start routering these things out and get on the grind. As you can see, we routed out the holes with the old trusty small router bit on the router. So now, you know, as you can see, like some of the stuff stuck to it when I was routering it, and it is tacky in some areas, but we're gonna do, in order to get rid of that, is we're gonna give it a bath with the acetone, because we don't want to start grinding on it when it's a little still tacky, because that'll just get nothing but gunk on our disc, and we want that disc to stay rough, so it'll give us a nice little sand you know, action. So we don't want that. So the way we get to eliminate all the tackiness is just the bath with the old acetone. So let me show you that. When I say bath with the acetone, is we get some rags and we drop acetone in it and we just wipe it all the way around, let it sit in the sun for like 3 minutes, and the acetone will dry up, and then it'll help it dry up even faster and no more tackiness. So let me show you guys. So you are going to waste a lot of acetone doing this, but it's actually what's a part of the process. So look, we just drop it, and you just wipe it down. You know what I'm saying? Just wipe it down really good. You could probably even almost put the acetone in the water bottle or spray bottle and just pretty much spray it down, and then just wipe, just clean it, scrub it. Make sure you get inside those little ridges and everything, so when it dries up, it doesn't leave nothing tacky at all. And even if the panel's been dry for like a day or so, it still allows you to to wipe it down, and it'll still do what it's supposed to do and just take the tackiness off, so that way we get better performance out of our grinding disc. And we don't have to just waste product, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, you are going to waste a lot of the acetone doing this, but it's for the best, and it's a part of the process. My dad, he's a fiberglass master. He works on boats. He actually works, if any of you guys know what yellow fins are, those are like high-end boats. And my dad's like a big dog there. So that's where I learned a lot of my fiberglass stuff from him. Even at my age right now, I still ask him questions so I can understand more, because every day new products get brought out, new techniques, everything, man. So he always gives me good answers and good explanations so I can understand it, so I can come back and help you guys out. So let me go ahead and finish cleaning this guy off, let it sit in the sun, and then we're gonna start grinding. Okay, so as you can see, we just got done grinding it. It looks rough and everything, but you know, that doesn't mean nothing. The structure of it's just good. And once you start smoothing it out, that's when, you know, you start filling in the areas. It looks a lot smoother, blending. So pretty much this is what the first stage of it, after you got done grinding it, what it's supposed to look like. Then after here, you fill it in with the Bondo. Then you start sanding it with 80 grit. Then it starts getting smooth. Although we are doing vinyl, we want like a lot of this right here to be nice and smooth, so you don't see the jagged edges. Like same thing with this right here. And right here, we just fill it in and we just blend it, you know, really nice with it. It's gonna get vinyl, so it's good. So you see like our edges are nice and good. So as long as you sand good and you know your work's good, it'll turn out really good. So let's get on. As you start grinding stuff, you start seeing some areas where we could just put fiberglass mat in it instead of filling it in with Bondo. And since the weather is like really hot, look at it, it is beaming today. Today is like perfect fiberglass weather. Like anything you do fiberglass sanding Bondo wise, right now it is like the best time to do it. So we went ahead and actually did some few strips of fiberglass mat on some stuff, and it's tacky right now. You know, it's dry, but it's still tacky. So while it's still tacky right now, I'm actually going to give it the bath again with the acetone, just to get the tackiness off, and then let it sit again for another like 5 or 10 minutes, and then it is ready to start grinding down. Like all this is just process of fiberglass. Fiberglass work is like very sensitive, and you have to be like on it, because the sun works against you when you're doing fiberglass, because the hotter the weather is, the more it's going to react and the less of ingredients you need for that thing to get it, you know what I'm saying? So we did a couple strips on some areas that we didn't want to fill in with Bondo, so we just went ahead and reinforced it with the mat. And I literally just got done resin it, and it's like really hard, but it's tacky. So right now, while it's tacky, we're just going to give it the acetone wash again, so it gets it off, so we can grind it down, and then we start filling it with Bondo. So man, this is 101 right here, fiberglass stuff. You know what I'm saying? You guys wanted more detailed videos, this is what goes on behind the scenes when I don't record, like stuff like this. So let's get it. Okay, so we actually got done giving it its bath. Man, this thing is ready to rock and roll. There's no more tackiness. You see like some of the shine went down to look kind of like flat. But we are just gonna let it sit for probably like 5 more minutes, so it'll like really like, man, that thing's gonna be rock hard. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grind down all the shiny stuff again down with the grinder, because it's rougher. So we're gonna go ahead and grind that down, and then, you know, we grind this down as well. Well, I may just cut it with the air saw, just so it's a lot faster, and then, you know, we sand it down. And then what I'm actually gonna do is smooth everything out. So grinding this real quick is like 36 grit, and then we're actually gonna move from 36 to 36 DA. Got it already on the DA. So we got 36 on the DA that we're just gonna smooth it out like really good, to where it's almost like it's not gonna be perfect, but it's just gonna be smooth out, and so it's just nice and flat. Then I'm gonna come back after I get done doing that and sand it with the 80 grit. So once we get to 80 grit, a majority is already knocked down, and only like the pinholes and hard dips where we're just gonna lightly fill it and lightly sand it to where all is even, so it's less work that we have to do with DA and sanding. Because fiberglass work, if you can figure out a way how to avoid heavy sanding, you're better off with it, because it becomes more of a nightmare when you have to like really cake the Bondo on there, and that's where it becomes more frustrating, and that's where people like give up. Because sanding to me it's not that bad, because I already got used to doing it. But I remember when I first started doing it, caking it up is never an option, because it's gonna get really nasty. Now you can smooth it out as best as you can and just do one light real light cake on it just to smooth it out so everything's filled in. But I just feel like you create more work for yourself versus just pacing yourself and doing sections and then going along and getting it done. Now I'm actually going to turn on my compressor so I can cut this out with the air saw. And then I got a Dremel that I'm going to Dremel that out very nicely so it looks nice and good. And then sand it down with the grinder. And then after that, come through with the DA, sand it real smooth. Then come back again with the DA, but with 80 grit, sand it down smooth again. And just fill in areas where it just needs it. Like, you know, right here, obviously we're going to need Bondo right here, right here. Right here we're going to need to fill it in just so it has like a nice flow. Right here, just lightly fill it because we want it to have like a curved contour. And I think we should be pretty good with that. So let's get it. But I'll show you guys all the steps as we go so you guys just stay informed. So when you guys try to do this, you at least got an idea of what's going on. So subscribe to the channel and drop me any questions in the comments and let me know what's good. So I grinded it down with the grinder again. And so you guys can see what it looks like right now. And I will show you what it looks like after we're done smoothing it out with 40 grit on the DA, so you can see the stages, how it goes, so you get an idea of what you're working with in case you ever try to do anything like this. It looks good, it's solid, man. I think it's no joke. So let's get it. That's ready to get it. As you can see, we got done sanding it with the DA. It's, you know, pretty much smooth, and you see like the places where we actually had to fill it in with Bondo. But you know, I'm not too worried about those little dips because we can fill those in with the filler. But you see like this, we're gonna actually fill it in right now, so we have a nice flow of it. Same thing with over here. We're gonna fill her in. We're gonna fill this in. We're gonna fill that in, and then we're gonna give it like a nice little curve on top. And then we're gonna come and fill it in across right here. So it's all that's, so pretty much the border of it is nice and smooth. And then then we just work the middle. The middle I'm not even worried about it because that looks pretty good. A real light skim coats of Bondo, so we don't do that much work for us. So right now, look, the sun is beaming. So I'm gonna barely put any harder in the Bondo because it's just gonna get hard really quick because the sun is out there really good right now. And let it sit for like 5-10 minutes, let it get hard, and then come through and sand it, you know. But we're gonna put very skim coats of it so we don't do that much work. All right, so let me go ahead and show you guys this real quick. Okay, so this is how much Bondo I'm actually gonna use right now for the first round, because I am gonna come through right here and I'm gonna put some of the Bondo and I'm just gonna like skim it, you know, right here and then right here to fill that in. Same thing right here, I'm gonna come through and skim it and skim it. So it covers a lot of the surface area, but we're just filling it in. So if we need to come back and put a little bit more and sand it, because you don't want to just apply it and then just sand just to try to get the perfect curve, because it may just need a little bit more just so it can get that nice slope. Same thing with here, and then we come back and then we just like sand it and then lightly do it so it's just done right the first time and don't have to break your head. But with the sun beaming so hard, and so it gives us time to actually work with it, I'm going to show you how much harder to actually put in, because it'll get hard fast because of the sun. So basically, like, I'll just do that and just a baby dot, and then that's it, you know what I'm saying, because the sun is really hot out here in Florida, so that thing is going to get super hard, you know. So you just get your stick, get that out the way, and just mix it real quick, and then you got to somewhat work fast, because even though we didn't really like put harder in it like crazy, man, that thing is still get really hard fast. So let me put the camera down, or actually I'll keep you guys here so you guys can see what's up. Scoop it. I actually like laying down Bondo, no lie. I always try to like test myself and see how good I can get it to lay. So let's actually go. Let's get it. So let's dip it up. We'll put a little bit right there. We'll grab a little bit more. And then look. Look, you see? So now we'll just come back right here and just finesse it in there. You see? And that's what you want right there. So we'll just come back right here And bam, bam, bam. So if you just grab a little bit and just come through and just lightly fill it in. You see it? That's what you want to try to get accomplished. So we'll do this section right here. Okay, so the bondo is on. You see, we were just concentrated on just getting the sides of it somewhat blended in. So now we're gonna put it in the sun and let it sit for like 10 minutes, and then that thing should be nice rock hard for us to go ahead and start sanding her down. And what I do is, like you see, like this right here is kind of rough, so I always just take my razor blade and just trim it down while it's curing, because like you see, now it's less that we have to sand, and so we don't have to force ourselves. So I always just like take a razor blade to it, the real higher points, and then so it's less that we have to sand. Like you see, boom, simple as that, guys. This one is right here, look. You see it? Just take it and just cut it, and then you guys it'll save you so much time and having to put a lot of work into it. So there we go. So like I said, this sun is beaming today, so it's gonna cure up pretty good. So these right here, once we get it blended in, we're just gonna like fill it in to a certain point, so where it's just a flat, and then it just has that dip, so it looks really nice. So let's let it sit for a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and sand it and let you guys see what it looks like after we get done sanding the sides of it. And after that, it's just pretty much doing this right here and that, and I think it's ready to rock and roll, guys. I think it's ready for vinyl. So this is what we were actually looking for right here, our base. Same thing with right here, our base. It looks real nice and slopey. So now pretty much all we have to do is just like blend it to where it just comes up with a nice slope, instead of it just having a bump right there. And then we're actually gonna go ahead right now and just fill this in, so where it's just good right there, so it just starts like a nice perfect strip. Same thing right here. And then we're gonna blend all this in, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in the other areas. So this next sand session that we give, it's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? It is ready to rock and roll, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the bondo on it, and then I'm gonna let it sit in the sun for probably like 10 minutes. And then after that, we're gonna sand it, and that should be the final sand. Well, not really the final sand, because we still gotta come back. And I'm just gonna rough it again with the 40. And then once I see that it's ready to, pretty much good, then we're just gonna run the 80 grit through it, and then that should be it, guys. Because we still want it to be somewhat rough, so when we lay the glue down, man, that glue, it grabs it really good. So we got it all ready for the final sanding. We're letting it cure for probably 5 more minutes, and let me actually put it in the sun. Okay, because even that sun in like 2 minutes, it makes a big difference, guys. It really makes a big difference. So we're gonna come back, and we're gonna with that grinder, we're gonna come back and just lightly skim it, and then we're gonna come back with that DA with that 40 grit still on there, and we're gonna just run through it real quick, and then we're gonna finish it off with the 80 grit, and everything should be nice and blended, so when we wrap it, it looks really good. And then we'll come back right here and little square sections where this dips at, and just hand sand it so it gives it good. And then we should call this guy done and ready for wrap. I may just wrap it in tomorrow's video when we install it, just so you guys can have more content, but today we just wanted to focus on the sanding part. So we walked through all the steps. I showed you what it looks like after every step, and now it is almost done, guys. So let's get on it. I think it should be dry now. Yeah, I'm telling you, like in the sun, it makes a big difference. Just so you guys can see, look, this is what it looks like when you grind bondo down with that Makita grinder with that 36 grit on it. And now I come through with the DA and sand it with the 40 grit on it, and it smooths it out. And then once we come through with the 80 grit on the DA sander, it just smooths it out, and man, that thing is ready. So you see how it knocks off a lot of the real strong rough edges on it. And so now we just come through real lightly with the DA sander down, and man, that thing is ready, guys. Look at that thing. That thing looks really cool. So subscribe to the channel, man. Drop them comments. The key is to do as less Bondo as possible, but obviously we had to mold stuff in there, so and it's vinyl, so you'll never see it. But I mean, this is just a quick idea of what it takes to build a titty panel, guys. Landing on the titty panel, it is done. As you can see, we blended in all the sides real nice right here as well. And then, you know, right here we did the, so this goes like rounded. Same thing right here, it's rounded, so when we wrap it, we have that dip inside there, and it's all sanded, ready to rock and roll, guys. So it's ready for wrapping, but wrapping I'm going to save it in tomorrow's video so I can wrap it and install it so you guys can see what it looks like inside the vehicle. And it took me probably almost like 3 hours to go ahead and do it. You know, we had to put strips of fiberglass here and there, but with the weather being so hot, it actually worked to our advantage, which was really good. We filled it in with the Bondo, we sanded it down, we got it ready, and now it's ready for vinyl, man. So we went a little bit good in detail with this video so you guys can understand how I sand stuff and how much easier it is. If someone, you know, sanded this guy down somewhere else, it'd probably take them all day and it probably wouldn't even look this good, and they would be breaking their head all day sanding mountains and mountains of Bondo. But you know, I developed like skills to where I can use like the high power tools, use them lightly, and then, you know, come through with the other air tools, use those guys lightly too, and then at the end of the day we have a nice finished product. So go ahead and drop any comments, man. Hit that like button and most definitely subscribe, and don't forget, man, we got that giveaway still. I'm gonna do double entries, so anybody that enters the giveaway from here till it ends, I'm giving you double entries in that guy, man. So get entered. The info on the giveaway is in the description of the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and get situated. I'm gonna take a quick shower because I gotta pick up these kids from school now, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're gonna finish this truck, this titty panel with this truck tomorrow, and then we continue the build for the console, which is this guy right here. So we have a lot of projects going on, and we're slowly tackling them and getting them out. But like I said, after that console's done, then that's when we can start on the Silverado, and we're gonna build that blow through in that thing, guys. And that thing's gonna be a beast.